Yep, y'all know I had to come with my girls. You know, if it ain't the girls, I don't know what unless it's TLC. But aside from them, you know, bam, ow, pow. Oh, thank you. Hey, appreciate that. Yeah, the shirt though. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you talking about Spice Girls?
Swing and shake it, move and make it. Who do you think you are?
Hey yo. Okay, we are live. Cause you already lit. You already I see you. Yo, this is.
Sorry. Really bad.
I love you.
Yeah. Hold on, let me turn off my volume, man. I'm bugging. I'm doing too much. Yo, this is Queu'd Up, the interview series. I am Jive English, your host as usual, and we got the normally very, very energetic, very live,
Tag
like he's
line.
on at all times. This guy, yo, Savannah's dopest R&B artist thus far, yo. Like, yo, we could say so many things, man. You fronted bands. You've done so much in this community, man. You got longevity.
Child.
We gonna get into it.
It feels like it. Jesus
But we got the guy, man. And it's been hard. It's been a minute to try to get you in here, man. It wasn't easy, but it's Marleaux Jones in the building, yo. So if you are in the building, like, share, subscribe, boy. You are about to. I anticipate a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't get this roller coaster ride, I expect to be on.
Look,
Thank you.
oh, baby.
You can't hear it, but we already got the applause.
You gonna pull a few G's.
Yeah, we gonna do it. Hey, a few is not enough.
Okay.
This guy right here. This guy
You
right
gonna
here.
pull an insurmountable
amount
of G's.
That's right.
How about that? I think that works a little better.
Hey, man, how's it doing, man? How you been?
Oh, child, look. If I was any better, I'd be a twin. That's about the best I got. If I was any better, I would be a motherfucking twin.
Yo.
But no, real talk, I'm
Yes.
awesome. In spite of, I'm great. It's a lot of great things, a lot of dope things coming up. I'm very excited about, very anticipatory, just very welcoming in to all the great things that's on the way. And
Oh,
I'm
my
trying to
goodness.
just make sure I just keep my mind on, hey, it's all led up to now to get you to the next part. That's all.
That's what it is. So let me talk to you, man. Let's get these things. I mean, let's get to it, man. Marleaux Jones.
That's it. That's the name.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where does Marleaux Jones come from? Like, what's the beginning? Like, are you from here?
Ooh, I love Seaport down, but I'm not from here. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Ooh.
Black Haven's on. Let's motherfucking go. Yeah, South Memphis represent. Let's go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Shoot, you from that MJG and A ball.
Let's
you know
go.
what I'm saying?
Not the MJ. Not EJ. You did it so backwards, and I love you
Yeah,
for
A ball
that.
MJG, yeah.
These are the MJG and 8-ball. I mean, same people. Hey,
Yeah.
you ain't wrong. You're not wrong. We got Young Dolph. We got K Michelle, 8-ball and MJG, Project Pat, La Chat. Of course, you know, Aretha Franklin was born there too.
Okay, no, I didn't know that.
Yep, Aretha Franklin was born in Memphis. You also got, yep, her too. Of course, Justin Timberlake, he's from Memphis too.
Is it?
Yep, he's from Memphis, born and raised. Trying to think. Young Dolph, of course.
Okay.
God rest his soul.
So, man, so you were brought up, you were born and raised in Memphis?
Born and raised, yes.
So, what was it like growing up in Memphis? I hear a lot of good things artistically from Memphis, but I hear a lot of things about Memphis.
Everything you heard, if it's the bad stuff, 9 times out of 10 is probably true. And that's no shade. I mean, at the end of the day, I know where I'm from. I can hold my city accountable. I know what it is. However, my childhood, so it's kind of hard to really say because growing up, I was like low key just a tad bit sheltered. So, excuse me. Ooh, pardon me. My parents, to start, I was adopted. Age 4, foster care from birth. Didn't get a chance to meet my birth mother, but as far as my adopted family, devout Christians, they definitely sheltered me quite a bit. I could not go out to nobody's house. I could not go out, hang out with friends, even though there were moments I did sneak out and they probably don't know about it. But if they didn't know, they know now. So yes. But growing up in Memphis, so of course, I'm a 90s kid. I was born in 89.
Right.
Everything was like simpler, running to the corner store to go grab your favorite shit. Playing outside when I did sneak out to go do it. Little things like that. Things were just simpler. The crime, I can honestly say, you didn't notice it, or at least maybe I was too young to notice if it was that bad.
Right.
But honestly, I think I had a decent childhood keyword is decent. I had a decent childhood. I was fed. I was clothed.
I mean, that's all you could expect these days.
That part. Even though I can honestly say my parents definitely cared. They loved me.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. So, my fault. We did a little technical difficulties, but you could definitely hear it. We are back. So dope stuff. So yeah, no, man. It's man. Like I always in hearing about Memphis. I'm an '80s baby too, so you know what I mean. So the first thing I ever heard about Memphis was
Gen Z, stand up. Let's go.
The first thing I heard about him was MJG and 8-Ball MJG, whatever. Mm-hmm. And just there, the way they told stories about that place, it just sounded like this really active environment. You know what I'm saying?
Was it?
It felt like it was Chicago in the South.
That's almost like a good way to put that, low-key. One thing about Memphis, and this is why, and this is no shade to my city, I love Memphis down, but I can honestly say, like, the crime, though, it's gotten, you can say it's gotten a little worse over the years, but
right.
At the end of the day, where is there not crime at this point?
Unfortunately, you can definitely say that, man. But you
grew
up. Growing up, how did you find your music? Like, you're this consummate performer, it seems.
Oh, come on. Hey, I mean, if you go gas me up, I swear. Propane, I swear. But no, real talk. First of all, I really appreciate that because I can honestly say I did not always feel that way about myself. So we're going to definitely say that. So the fact that people are able to say like nice things and really mean that really means something.
No, I mean, just in like, it's not even from a collaborative standpoint or even a promoter, producer, whatever, even an artist standpoint. Just as a fan of your music, you're one of the people who I can watch and be an audience member. I don't have to be an artist to sort of critique your performance. There is no critique. I just get to go, okay, I get to watch magic and experience music the way that people who haven't produced it know how to enjoy it, like, intrinsically. And you give that stage presence all the time. So I want to know where this came from. Like, when did you find, like, yo, this is my thing? Like, how old were you when you were a kid? Were you an adult? Like, what's going on?
Well, I guess like elementary. So I was always involved in music, I guess. Well, first off, so I grew up in the church. Mm-hmm. So I grew up Church of Christ. So being exposed to church where there was instruments and where there was like a whole choir, that was not a whole thing. Mm-hmm. When I grew up. We had congregational singing. We had a song leader. Yes, we had that. And then that was my first experience. And of course, harmony. Oh my God, dead on. But maybe that particular instance for the most part is where I can honestly say that's where it piqued my interest. Right. But, even in school, you had music class. But I can say I'll never forget 8th grade. It was 8th grade choir. And then it was like show choir, I think. It was shout out to Kirby Middle School. Yeah, man. Shout out to Dr. Lavencia DeBerry. Yes, that was my choir teacher in 8th grade. That was the first time I was ever a part of an actual choir. Okay. So that really was like, this is what this is? Oh, yeah, I think we got something here. So, yeah, it was fun. I really felt like I could step out, and then I was a bit of a shy kid kinda at first because I got bullied a lot. I was teased. So,
really?
Absolutely. Oh my God. And then you in Memphis, baby, these kids are ruthless. They do not play. But So I was kind of shy. So even then, I guess I felt like maybe I had a voice. Didn't really hone in on it. Didn't really give it too much about. I just felt good being in the mix.
Oh,
I guess.
yeah.
Never more so in the forefront.
Yeah, I felt that way. I was in high school band. I was in band all the way through high school.
What you
middle
play?
School. The trumpet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the first time I felt what you're talking about, that I can really enjoy the communal energy
Absolutely.
of music making.
Absolutely.
And I don't have to be first chair. I don't have to be soloed or anything like that. But just the environment of music making in that group setting, and seeing so many minds, so many attitudes, and so many histories coming together to do this one dope thing.
Right. And then because you're like a part of that, it's almost like you're like a fish in a pond full of other fish doing the same thing, but y'all are doing great things.
Right.
As opposed to being that one fish that gets to jump out the pond every once in a while and be seen.
Right. Like, it's definitely a liberating thing to be heard and not necessarily have to be seen.
That's real. And you know what? I'll credit Dr. D-Berry with that too, because I'll never forget. We did a lot of gospel songs. There was one particular one. Oh, that's so crazy how you remember stuff. So there was it Mississippi Mass Choir, that song. They got the word. I'll never forget. They had different people that would lead different stuff. She was like, Marleaux, you think you should lead this? I was like, come again, say, huh? And she was like, yeah. She's like, you want to give it a try? I was like, okay, did it. And I was like, okay. This ain't too bad. I like this. Okay. And I guess that's when, the self-confidence kind of started to grow a little more. You kind of feel yourself a little more, So I have to credit her that she definitely was a great music teacher, an amazing director, and then she was very kind. So I credit her with having a hand in that. Honestly, all my choir teachers throughout the years.
So when did you start saying like, okay, center stage, I'm him. I want to be him. When did that start?
So it definitely wasn't until maybe after high school. Even when I got to high school, that's when I was like in choir full time. Like I really was. I did concert choir, I did show choir, I did gospel choir, and I did a couple of leads here and there. But I still didn't feel. I don't know. I just wasn't as secure in myself at the time. I didn't really. I don't know. I wasn't as confident in my voice. And then also too, growing up. Growing up and being raised in the church, you're accustomed to hearing a certain type of vocal in the front.
Yeah.
And a certain type of vocal that would get the leads, that would, be the one that.
So was that discouraging for you?
Not necessarily discouraging, but I guess it made me say, well, maybe that's just not my spot. Maybe that's not my place. And I was okay with that. But also, too, I had to get into the mode of, you don't have to sound a certain way to be good. You don't have to sound or...
You don't have to emulate.
Exactly. And that's why when... I guess... Hello. Come on. Let's go. Now, hey, come on. Message. I love that. But it's like you learn that, okay, I can do this too, and I can be good doing it. Like, it made me appreciate my uniqueness as an artist, what I bring to the table outside of the norm.
Right. So you're in Memphis, you're choir dripping, you know what I'm saying? And now you're just...
Choir dripping is crazy, though. I ain't gonna hold you. That's wild. I could have went a lot of ways with it.
Let's just go straight. Let's just
go
forward.
I didn't mean to derail.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That was funny, though. I was like, okay. I love you. That's real.
Yeah. So you're finding your own voice, and you're finding out how to be good with your voice. Look, there's a lot of professional artists that haven't even done that.
Oh, please, man.
So how...
Come on, again. Literally, I was about to say the same thing. Yes, absolutely.
So how do you, Marleaux Jones, young upstart coming up, find your voice and then say, this voice is good enough to take center stage? How do you do that? Yeah, man, I'm going in now.
And look, you see me, where I'm like, how do I word? Well, Honestly, the best way to answer that, I just had to get to a point where I said, I can curse, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man,
yes,
I just make
sir.
so dumb. Wait, I forgot where I was.
That's it.
Child,
Clicked up
motherfucker.
studio. You know what I'm saying? This is job. Yes, you said it.
That
All right,
it.
Go
That's
ahead.
it. You have to get to a point, and this is just me. Everybody has their own way of figuring it out, but for me, I had to get to a point where you had to say fuck it, because for me, it was always internalizing the thoughts of what other people thought of me, or what I projected to what other people saw. I cared too much about what people thought of how I sounded, how I looked, what I did, or what I brought to the table. You really do have to get to a point where you say, fuck it. What you see is what you get. And then, and also I had to get to a point where I understood what my gift was, if that makes sense. Because even then, trying to find your voice, just like you said, you got artists out here that still haven't found theirs, and they're still trying to find it. But for me, I don't know. I just really just said fuck it. This is it. This is what I have, and trying to find that fine balance between expounding on what I have, but not losing the essence of what makes me. So if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, no. So this guy, it's just dope so far. I mean, we're having fun, man. So
Yes.
you're quiet dripping.
You know I gotta keep that. I'm gonna keep that.
You quiet
You know I'm gonna keep that,
Make it
because
a
I was just
t-shirt.
like, this is different. I love it.
Quiet dripping, solo singing, Memphis baby, and then you find the army, brother. Tell me, how does that guy, turn into Private Jones? Like, come on, talk to me, man.
Wait, spec PV2. I left
PV2. you go put some spec on my
Put
wings.
some respect on my one little extra bit of rain, which it was actually PFC, but a nigga got demoted. But
Hey,
it's okay. It happens.
You are a
Happens to the
good
best of
company.
us. Do the leadership one and all that.
And
with the,
bees like
you
that
know what?
sometimes.
You know what? Shout out to my homegirl Kenisha Terrell. That was one of my NCOs. And shout out to Son Carr. Man, that was the first NCO. She lives in Savannah now. She actually keeps up with me, man. So some of the best NCOs to ever to be under, because they truly cared about their soldiers.
So here you go. NCO means non-commissioned officer.
NCO, yes.
We going veteran on
I know,
them.
I forgot.
And they're not ready. They're
Well,
not ready.
Yes. Some of the best non-commissioned officers.
Sergeants.
Yes, that part. Some of the best non-commissioned officers to ever have any type of leadership over me. They were awesome. I respect them. But for me, it's that part of my life I try to forget, because story time. You ready?
Let's go.
Lord. Okay, so 18 years old. No, yeah. Was I 18 yet? No, 17. 17 years old, at this point, this is senior year. I'm definitely out at this point. I've definitely come out.
So you weren't always out.
No, because but here's the thing. Growing up, I didn't know earlier, people put a label on you. You don't even know what that is. You getting called names. You like, what is this? I wasn't even old enough to even understand what I was being called. But then as you get older, you know how to research, and you know how to look things up, and then you know what you hear. Then it's but that's not me, I guess. But then you're like, or is it? But I know Lord, I ain't had to tell this story to nobody. That's so funny. All right, so I'll never forget. I had a dude. I'll never forget. It was actually the first dude I ever first time. Yep, first time. Yep, first time. And I got kicked out the house because I got caught
On the first time?
Well, not the first time.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, no, he
was just the first one.
That was the first one.
Okay,
yeah.
for sure.
But yeah, but you know what? The crazy part is, we didn't even do anything when I got caught. We were not doing anything. So, got caught, got kicked out. Shout out to my God rest her soul. She had passed on. My YM high school class of 08. Her name is Marcia Milam. When I got kicked out of my house, she came. I'll never forget. I called her. She literally came, got my stuff. This was about a good week before graduation.
Oh my
I was literally about to graduate, but she came and got my stuff. Took it to her house. She's like, oh, let me call my mama. She called her mom. Her mom was like, just have him bring his stuff over. They literally took me in.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes.
Yo,
So,
that's going to choke me up a little bit, Giga.
man, because I really could have been homeless. And if it wasn't for her, shout out to her. I will always give Marcia her flowers. And it's crazy. We lost quite a few alumni, but she was the one that hit hard because she was like a real friend. And matter of fact, I credit her with sneaking me out to the club. Yes.
Credit is crazy.
Period. So I credit her. She snuck me out to the club.
Hey, she had to do it.
But
good people, man. Good people, man.
So I did not make the grades for any real scholarships. I did not have, of course, my parents, they're both retired at this point. They didn't have the money to pay for school. So it was like, well, what else am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I going to feed myself, support myself? And I knew I wanted to go to college somehow. So I was like, oh, the Army. And I'll never forget, it was my sister. Shout out to Susie back home in Memphis. She was the one that actually suggested that. And of course, I lived in an age where when you were 18, what was it? Bow, kick you out.
Oh,
period.
yeah.
Which, I'm going to be honest, had I had that ship not sailed off into the breeze and I still wanted to have kids, they would live with me until they figured it out. I'm not kicking. I would not kick them out at 18. Because even then, it's like I want you to have a steady, a soft place to land.
Oh yeah, no,
you know
I have kids, and I told them 18 is not no magic number.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't get the powers of the universe. You don't know what the hell's going on.
It's not like
just
something
yet.
says, this is what life is. No,
it's like only thing you can do is go to jail for what you did. You know what I mean? So now our relationship has to take another turn because now you have to be upfront with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And one of my NCOs taught me this, Sergeant Bird. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Like, lie to them, but don't lie to me.
Period.
Because I can protect you if I know the truth.
I like that.
So you tell me what's going on, and then we can lie together.
I like that. So, see, now she down, and I like that.
So she would say that, and I was just like, she wasn't even one of my first line supervisors, but she would say that to anybody who's like, yo, don't lie to me, because I'll come up to bat for you, but if you lie to me in front of them,
there's nothing
I can do for you.
Period. And that's
so
how
I had to tell my
was.
I had to tell my daughters that, like, look, you lie to them, don't lie to me, because I can't be the last person to know what's going on.
That's absolutely real.
So definitely,
Sergeant Carr and Sergeant, well, I think by the time she got out, I believe she was Staff Sergeant Carr, and I think at this time it's Staff Sergeant Terrell now. I think she's a Staff Sergeant, but those are like my two. They same thing. Like they would go for bat for their soldiers. But sorry, I digress. As far as the military, I didn't know what else to do. It was either that or starve or be homeless. So literally 5 days after graduation, I was still in, I knew I was going to do it. I just didn't realize I was going to have to do it so fast and so quick at a last minute decision. Like I was forced to grow up real quick. And shout out to Sergeant Fisk. I think it's Fisk. Ah, dang. If I got your name wrong, if you are watching this, just know it's all love. That was my recruiter. But yeah, he's the one that got me in there. But yeah, 5 days after graduation, right to relaxing Jackson, and they wasn't shit relaxing about it. Lies they tell. But yeah, I was headed right off to basic training right after graduation.
Oh yeah, my
And then it was on and popping from there. Well, here's the life that you want to one day forget.
So, what? Okay, you get in. Now it's like, I got to get out of here. What made you go, I got to get out of here?
Oh, everything. I was over it immediately. Everything.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely. What's up, babe?
How was it for you as a queer man in the military? Like, can you put a spotlight on that for a second?
Absolutely. I don't mind. Oh, absolutely. First of all, that's a part of the reason why I got out when I did, because of course, at this time, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was not repealed yet.
Yeah, so I remember that. Yeah.
So, we were still in. I was still in. So, of course, of course, military bearing is a thing. So, to an extent, unless you really could just read me, you knew. But at the same time, it's hard. I can only be myself.
That's for sure.
So, to an extent, if you maybe just looked at me, you didn't really immediately immediately know. But I guess for me, it was, you had first line supervisors, NCOs. They knew they knew one thing about it. And they would always be, you getting a counseling statement. Okay, so for those that don't know, a counseling statement is just corrective action, or what you would call it your job as a write-up. So it would be a counseling statement for this. So just real small itty-bitty shit that
just
nobody else would get in trouble for.
Boy.
And it's like they knew that they were doing this shit so it could eventually add up, because they knew they wanted to get me out of there for that reason. And there was no other way that you could tell me that was why you wanted me out. But you couldn't tell me that was why, because of course, don't ask, don't tell. So we can't get you there, but we can get you this way.
Right.
So that was
because they didn't want you the natural matriculation of you turning into an NCO. They were blocked for sure, brother.
Oh, baby.
Sure.
Gatekeepers.
Man, boy, the military full of, boy.
Baby.
Woo.
Oh.
Y'all don't have no idea.
If y'all, I could write a book.
And then the Masons that be in there.
One day, let's put that in the air. Let's put that out there.
Boy.
I can. Boy. How about this? I will write a book.
That's right. So, yeah. Because I remember, like, I had a friend, like, I was in Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I had a friend who, you know, again, you really can't talk about it straight up, but we were friends. We were really close. Woodard, that's my guy. Aww. And he came out to a friend of mine, right? And we were real cool. We matter of fact, we were in Iraq when this happened. He came out to a friend of mine, and then my friend came up to me. And then he goes, "Hey, yo, man, Woodard wants to talk to you." And I go, "What?" He said, "Man, it's serious." And I'm like, "Well,
I bet you didn't know what it was.
I didn't know what it was, but I knew he was gay already. You know what I mean? So I you know, that was still my guy. So when he came up to me, he was just like, "Yo, I need to tell you something." And I was like, "Well, what? What's going on?" He said, "I don't think you're gonna want to be my friend after this."
Oh, bless his
And I was
heart.
just like, "Well, what's going on?" He goes, "You know, I'm gay." And I was like, "Nigga, I know."
But you know what? That shows he respected you as a person.
Yeah.
Because
So,
any other terrorist, he'd be like, "Man, I ain't telling that nigga."
So he, I was like, "Yeah, I know." My only critique was I knew who he was seeing, and I thought that nigga was dirt. So I was like, "Yo, but you can do better than this nigga." So we ended up laughing about it because I was just like, "But that nigga's dirt, man. Like, you can do better than that, G." Like, so, you know, but
not dirt though.
But yeah, no, he was trash.
Oh, he was trash.
Yeah, he was a trash soldier. Like, he was just dirt. Like, so it was just like, "Yo, man, you do better than that." Turned out he ended up being bisexual. Like, you know, he dated women and men. So, but it's cool. It's cool though. But
gag is that's real.
Yeah, but he but he was a dope dude. But it was then, and because I would get in arguments in the military, because you know, I don't want no gay so and so in the army with me, and I'm like, look,
there's one of them like every you got 5 of them per every one.
And they were like, "Smith, what you think about it?" I said, "Man, caring about what another man does with his dick is crazy to me."
That is to this day.
That is
why does it matter? It's none of your business anyway.
I don't really give you like. I was like, that's the gay
thing. Do I
thing
ask
to me.
you
like,
what your wife? What did your wife go down on you this morning before you came to work?
Right.
Why would I ask you that? Why does that matter to me?
So then I used a misogynistic kind of like lean to it. I was just like, but that just means less competition for you anyway. Like, bro, wouldn't you be cool with that? Like, yo, because gay dudes be dope motherfuckers, man, and I can't compete with that.
That's okay if they want to miss out on this magic. They can't.
No, but like,
this magic ain't missed
because most of y'all don't even want to listen to y'all woman talk. Most of y'all, when the game come on, you don't even know you married. And there's this dope dude who like listens to her talk.
Child, they probably pack up their whole house, kids, dog, and probably steal your whole bank account. He'll probably still be sitting right on that couch up into the fifth quarter.
That's the fifth quarter.
The fourth quarter. See, that's how you know. I don't watch. I don't.
But I don't watch it either.
Okay, overtime. Bam, there it is.
I don't watch sports either, but I go to the gym, so it looks like I would know.
I feel you.
So people walk up. And if it's weird when people walk up to you midstream, like, "Hey, what do you think about the Bills this year?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I lie. I'm bad." I'll be like, "Yeah, I don't know." Especially if I tell them I'm from Cleveland and they want to go in on the team and all the players, and I'm just like, "Yeah," and I'll make up some generic phrase like, yo, we just got to do better on defense. That's what we really got to do.
I love it.
And then
they go so great.
And they
you can just really say it.
They always, you can just make. I swear.
and they just go with it. Yeah, we do. We really do.
Because we're good on the first half. Like, yes, perfect. But like, we always just lose our steam towards the third or fourth quarter. And they're like, you know what? We just got to do something different in the locker room. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck I just said to these people.
You're like, thank God that's over.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Last argument.
So,
I don't even know it.
Literally.
So
that's all it
So
be.
I get you. So I don't follow sports at all. I don't.
Yeah, I probably know more than he does.
Right. I watch cartoons.
See, that's me. Oh, you give me Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends any day. Period.
Oh my
Let's
goodness,
go.
that was the show. Anyway,
Man, it wasn't it though.
Let's have this let's have this interview, please.
I know,
Now
I'm sorry. Look, we done derailed
right,
so many
we just
times.
kicking it. Yeah, come on.
But hey, that's a Marleaux Jones interview for. Well, welcome people. Welcome one, welcome all. But anyway.
So your origin, so now you're in and out the Army, man, and you've survived that experience. And I'm sorry that it was tough for you because that era was not our shining moment
at all. It definitely broke my.
For our LGBTQ people, we lost a lot of dope people in the military because they didn't know how to handle nuance.
Right.
For sure.
At all.
But now you're out, and now you're turning into this artist again. What would you call your style? One, and then how did you mature into it?
So, as far as style, like musically,
yes, musically, yeah.
So I'm not gonna say it out loud because it's just something's coming. I'll just say that. But I will say, if I had to classify my style, it's a fine mix between a little bit of '90s nostalgia in R&B, tad bit of soul, with a sprinkle of a little bit alternative.
I like that.
And
I think you got a little bit more soul in it.
And then just a little bit of house.
A little bit of house.
You know, Salt Bay. A little bit of house. A little bit. Which I'm telling you, which of course just a plug moment. Retro Love Volume 1 Vent Sessions coming to y'all this fall. But you'll definitely hear the record and understand why I said it and described it that way.
Okay, definitely.
So, but yeah, I think that's definitely my style. If I had to put a name or like put a description to it, that's about the best way I got.
Okay, so how did you come into that style? Like, how did you find your voice and go, this is my lane? Like, because there's so many more prevalent styles that we just spoke on it earlier that there's a big push to emulate because we're dealing with an industry.
That's real.
And an industry creates a uniform product. Mm-hmm. So there's a push to make. And I say this analogy all the time. When you're dealing with a box of cookies, so you get it from whoever, Keebler, whatever, and the selling point of it is that the first cookie tastes like the second cookie, that tastes like the 25th cookie, that tastes like the last cookie. It's a uniform flavor, right? So that's what the industry does. It creates a uniform product, like your car. Like if you bought a Ford, whatever, and I bought the same Ford, whatever, we should have the same experience of this vehicle. Definitely because it's a uniform thing. Right, an assembly line. So now here you are in an industry saturated with assembly line uniformity. How do you resist that and still maintain your unique nuance? Like, how do you do that?
That's a great question.
Yeah, boy.
Baby, one thing about you was not about to play with my ass here. You were not about to play with me. He said, "Okay, I'm about to put you in the hot seat for real."
For real, man. Like, yo, you that guy around here, so we gotta get a view of something to talk about now.
So I guess for me, it was first. I'm honestly, I'm still in a process of, I know who I am, but I'm still going down that rabbit hole of really Ooh, you better put a word to it. That is perfect. How to further express myself that is still authentically me. So I say for me, it was like, who am I? I'm fun. I'm a vibe. What do I love? Anything from, well, first of all, if I have to say inspiration-wise, absolutely TLC from the head to the toe of who I am. Because going back to when I said I had to find my voice, coming into an industry where everybody had a certain sound. Everything was coded. Everything had, if it didn't look or sound this way. And for them, for me, when they hit, they came out 90, was it 92? What was that? On the TLC.
On the TLC.
Immediately know they were not going to be like anybody else or anything you had ever seen. So that was like, So I wasn't old enough to appreciate them when they dropped. However, like I discovered them during like the fan mail era, because that was like 5th grade. Was it No Scrubs came out? Baby, it was a wrap. I was like, who are these people? And it went from there. Which actually, it's funny, I'm wearing the shirt. The Spice Girls low-key did that, because I'll never forget. I remember when Spice World, the movie, came out. Pop, oh, God rest his soul, my dad, he passed back in 2011, but I'll never forget, he taped the movie for me. This one, yep, that's it, VHS, y'all. We didn't have DVR. We didn't even have DVD yet. Yes, VHS. He taped it when it came on TV for me. And I'll never forget, this was 3rd grade. This was when the first album came out, Spice. I'll never forget this girl named, I can't remember her name, but she had a Spice Girls themed party in our 3rd grade class. From the plates to the forks to the cups to the posters to the table to everything. And it was like, so I was so overexposed. But Mel B was the one that stuck out, because number one, she was so different, so loud. She was not your normal, what you would consider like your typical vocalist, but she sounds so different. But she was so much herself, and you immediately fell in love with her. That's how I felt about TLC. They didn't care about who, how they came across. They were gonna be themselves at all costs.
I mean, oh yeah, they came out. They had the condom over the eye,
Period.
left eye, like
they promote. Yep.
Yeah, they had baggier clothes, so they weren't necessarily doing the tight fitting, like they were in. Yep. They definitely broke the mold in a way that said you can find out. Yeah, for sure. Go ahead,
And
please.
so for me,
my question is, why the hell they acted the way they acted when you graduated high school if he knew to record Spice Girls for you?
So I missed a part of the story. So, it
was in my mind to ask. I was like, but I want to let you have your continuity. So.
No, you're okay. It's okay. I'm glad you asked. So let me go back and we'll rewind. So I sound like Donnie. There was a Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. Yes. But anyway, so story. If we can combine the pressures of being at school, getting bullied, getting teased, coming home, and you're getting to that age where you're a little resentful. You're very. I was rebellious as a fucker. But at this point, when I was adopted, my dad was already middle aged. Yeah. So by the time I'm in high school, they're a little older now. They couldn't really handle a lot of my antics. So of course, their children were already older. My sister, she was old enough to be my mother. So what they did a thing where they had me go and live with her, and I went to a different high school. We clashed. Yes, we clashed. And I know a lot of that, which to this day, no shade to her at all whatsoever. Right. She's always gonna be my sister. I still love her. No ill feelings.
Right.
There's still baggage I have to unpack that I'm still working on now from that from that time in my life, which of course I'm open enough to talk about it. I don't mind, because it's still a part of what got me to where I am right now.
Yeah.
But when I went to live with her, she actually kicked me out. So that's what that was.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that to clarify that part. It wasn't Pop, and
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
it wasn't Pop.
I get that now.
Yeah. So that's what that was.
So Pop Duke was more understanding than sister.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
And honestly, I felt like we're gonna just that little bit. Bam, here we are. Anyway, so Pop. I don't want to feel. No, I'm not gonna say that. It's because at the end of the day, my experience is my experience.
Yeah.
I felt like at one point I felt like he was the only one, along with my mother, Miss Lacey. Short story. The reason why I call my mom Miss Lacey, Pop's late wife, when I was adopted, she passed. So all their kids together were my adopted brothers and sisters. And then my dad, I was 7 when my dad remarried Miss Lacey, but she was always a family friend. Real, I think at the time she was working at J.C. Penney's. Yep. And they started dating. I think I was like maybe in maybe 2nd grade when they got married. So I felt like those were the only 2 people that like loved me. That's what I felt like. So growing up in that era of my life, like I didn't really feel like I kind of felt like the stereotypical black sheep of the family. The one that's kind of cast aside. But I have girl. It's a thing. So when you, baby, when you find, so we here.
So you are like, this is a lot, and this is dope.
It's
like because at any moment, Kel can ask a question, and you go back, and it's just like, boy,
I'm telling you, it's like my life is literally the rabbit hole. It's so many layers to it. Like it's one thing that leads to something else, but you got to go back because this explains that. I'm telling you, it's so much.
So I'm gonna ask a question, get a segue at you.
Okay, bad.
Yeah.
iPad on 10.
Okay. How long we been up?
40.
Yeah, we still got 20 minutes. 10 will be good. Yeah. You have a song. This is my favorite song from you. Like every time I hear it, I'm like, yo, this should be bigger than it is. You have a song.
I'm glad that's what's up. Thank
Yeah, no, it's Who's Been Keeping You Up.
Ooh,
when I tell you,
shout out to King Bogus Monarch. He did his big one, help to put me on with that one. That
track right there is the one. Like every time I hear it, I'm like, yo, this is nuts. I'm gonna segue by asking this question. Okay. Understanding your past and your history and how having relationships were one kind of in a closet, so to speak, and then coming out and then having and being your more robust self to writing this song. Like, what perspective what lived experience or perspective did you call on to write that song? Because it has all of the features of a song that would evoke those type of feelings that just even the title would tell you it is.
So, story time.
Let's go. I got the questions.
Lord, Jesus Christ. Y'all go, child, I might as well be on Sally Jesse Raphael. But but real talk. So, little short story, I was once engaged. At one point, this was literally the relationship really took all of my 20s, like pretty much all of my 20s, because I met him when I was 20. December. So yep, I was 22 at this point, and we were together up until I was about 20. I was turning 27. November 30th, Sagittarius.
I knew I loved you. Oh my God, I'm
Here
sorry.
we go.
I'm a Sag too. I'm the 22nd of November.
See, tell them people stop. Tell them people stop playing. Tell them to stop playing. Yeah, y'all.
I love that. Okay,
yes.
Go back.
No, you good. No, you all right. But so long story short, while the relationship was great, when it was like one of those things when it was great, it was wonderful. Just magical. But when that shit hit the fan, boy, I hate how it ended. Luckily, we're in a better place now than we were. And, we're cordial. We can definitely speak and definitely talk about those times and kind of laugh about them now. But at the moment, back then, So I wrote it from that perspective because it's like, the first line was like, when the spark is gone and things don't feel the same. Instead of just I said, instead of sharing dreams, we're too focused on sharing blame. I can't speak for you. I can't speak for you. I feel so ashamed of what we became. And it's like, I knew it's when you're in it for the wrong reason, it's gonna flounder. It's gonna end because the intention behind it was never genuine. Or even if it was genuine, somehow y'all just ended up getting off the rails and it never came back to what got y'all there in that good spot to begin with. So And I think for me, and this is only my experience, is just it was more so the image of what that relationship should have been, and everything had to look a certain way. I had to dress,
really
look and be, and I kind of felt a bit stifled in a sense, because I never forget, like my style now. I still remember there'd be moments where like we get dressed to go out. And he'd be like, "You wearing that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He'd be like, "Okay." And he would laugh. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have found something else just a little bit more to piss you off. Because, bitch, who was you talking to?
No, all love. But no, dead ass. That's what it was.
That's how I would have felt.
And things like that, they, just, you don't even realize at the time, but it just chips. Just little chips here and there. It just starts to chip away at that little bit of you that makes you you. When I tell you, people will say, you know how people say when you look in the mirror, you don't even recognize who you are. I promise you, toward the end, I'll never forget. We had a real big fight. It was the fight where it was like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's over. Da 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 da. And I think somewhere either that night or somewhere during that day, I looked in the mirror. I promise you, I did not know who the fuck I was looking at. I could not recognize myself at all. So when I say that's a thing, that is a thing. So, and it took years to get to that point where like it felt like it was like that monkey on my back. Like just always that constant, well, maybe if I, or maybe had we, or just all those shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And it's like, who's been keeping your ass up? And like that shit really did keep me up a lot of nights because I felt like I did something, which of course every part I played in why we didn't work, I accept responsibility because I wasn't perfect, but at the end of the day, I was faithful. I did my best to make sure that I was in it 100%. But at the end of the day, just you being faithful ain't enough. So, and I'll just leave it at that.
I definitely.
Y'all can take and do what y'all want with that one. And no shade, all love. We're still cool to this day.
Okay. So you
weren't for that little moment that we weren't when it ended, but we're cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's just the mark of just letting go and the power it is in that.
Yeah, and and finding your power afterwards, baby.
So all of this information, man. I love where this is going, man. All of this energy, all of the stuff that you've been able to harness, man. You put it on a stage and you create a stage show.
I really try. I do. I try.
Like when you're on stage, it is a performance. It's not a recital. It's not a showcase. It is a performance.
I love the fact that it's not a recital, baby. It's not.
Right. Like you are on stage.
Tisn't. Tisn't.
I like that. But you definitely own. I've booked you for this reason in the past, right? So it's been like, this guy, I definitely don't pay you what you're worth. I can tell you that. Like you are a showstopper. You are one of those people who like, you're professional grade.
I appreciate that.
So you're on stage. Where do you get this persona on stage? Even in your pictures, whenever I see any of your content, any of your promotional material, any of just your photography, you always seem to be aware of the camera, of the crowd, of the audience, of the moment. As a professional musician, artist, how do you find that? Like, there's a lot of artists on there that don't know how to work a stage, don't know how to work the mic, don't know how to work, camera work. That's a thing. Mm-hmm, sure. And you seem to be able to do that seamlessly. Where do you go, or who do you become? Like, what version of Marleaux are we seeing when you are just able to like encapsulate all that on the stage?
So, and honestly speaking, I think that comes from, I feel like that first part of my life, it was always something that you couldn't be. You something was like, you had to either be something else. You weren't allowed to be yourself. It was always something where you had to stifle your own expression. or I had to put myself second to everything else around me. So I think once I got to this era in my life, which goes back to what I said when you asked me the first question of how do I I can't remember, but I just remember I can't remember the question, but I remember my answer was, just fuck it. I just had to literally just say fuck it and go for what I know. Once you really get on there and like, honestly, it's not cliche at all. You get on that stage and you perform like that's going to be the very last time you touch that fucker. And I mean that with every bit, because you know, and oh man, I ain't gonna hold you. It takes me to a place when I kind of speak about this. You know what it was like when you weren't able to do that. And you know what it was like and what it took for me to get to this point, and what I gave up and what I sacrificed in every stumbling block along the way. So it's like, now that I'm here, y'all motherfuckers about to see me.
I love it. Because look,
hello, like, caller. Are you there? Are you?
So I mean, no. I mean, like, even in this conversation, you seem like your animations, your mannerisms, you're not being disgenuine. You're being a very genuine person, but it feels like I'm watching a performance. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy is really like, I don't want to say too much because I want to watch the show, right? Like, it's almost like I have to ask the questions just to get it off so I could watch the rest of the show. Like,
that's hilarious, and I love that.
Yeah, no, man, you're a show, bro. You're a show, man. Yeah. So it's just
see, that's real, and I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all really dope. Thank y'all.
Oh no, we no, it's really genuine. It's really genuine, one, but it's really a selfish thing that I get to do, to be able to say I get to be in a room with these people. I get to say I know these people. Oh yeah, big ups to Marleaux. King Bogus in the building.
Shout out to and if y'all don't know who King Bogus the Monarch is, when we spoke about our song "Who's Been Keeping You Up," that is out on all streaming platforms right now.
You really need to listen to that.
So yeah, this is definitely worth a listen to. You get a little peep in my life, and maybe a little bit of his too. So yeah, shout out to Bogus on some real ass shit. He is not only one of like a dope ass MC.
Oh, no question.
Dope ass MC. But he is also so kind, so genuine, and he is absolutely like a great person. So all around.
So let me ask this question, man.
Very supportive.
You get a lot of features around here. You do. Being LGBTQ, working with in a genre of music, hip hop, that is notably misogynistic. Mm-hmm. How do you handle? How are you handled in the hip hop world? Because it seems like you're having a good go. It doesn't seem like your personal life has anything to do with the success that you're having. I see you feature with pretty much anybody, and it seems like would you think the era that we're in and the kind of exposure that has gone to make people more comfortable with your presence, or like what's going on? Because like I see you working and I'm like, I know this industry, and this industry has at one point had no issue.
Baby. And
so, but now you're working with these dope artists, and not just Bogus, but so many other dope artists, and I'm like, yo, this kid is everywhere. Mm-hmm. And so what do you attribute to that ability to work in that industry with that notable history?
Honestly, I feel like it's a mixture of two. So it's that, of course, I feel like we are in a different era now where people are being respected and seen for who they are, regardless of their sexual identity.
Right.
But also too, like I said earlier, I had to get to a level of where I just didn't give a fuck. Like, I don't care if what you see is what you get. You want to work with me, it's because it's me. I'm not trying to put on to get on. You know what I'm saying?
You just said I'm that nigga. Is what you just said.
I mean, shit. I mean, a duck don't have to quack to say it's a duck. That's it. I'll just play it. But look,
are you though?
I'm just me. I'm just me. But hey, I ain't gonna hold you. Look, I'm pretty motherfucking down. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. Hey. But no, all love. And I do honestly feel like it is a mixture. We have reached an era where at the end of the day, we're still LGBTQIA plus rights in our place in society still has a ways to go. But we have come so baby. And don't even baby, I don't talk politics, but I said a lot without having to say nothing at all.
The baby.
That's all. That was it. But I feel like while we do have a long way to go, we've come so far.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The fact that a Lil Nas X or a Saucy Santana can get on a main stage, on a big stage, and sell out arenas though with high end artists, like these are top billings.
So yeah, you're not niche. They're mainstream. Yeah.
And also too, I feel like also people also understand where this is where it gets a little gray. I feel like while they know that, you know, we have reached a new era where our acceptance has grown, it's also like it can be a ploy to take advantage too, in a sense, because where it's like, oh, he's gay, let's get him on to make it look like we.
Ooh, so that's very complex. So you can be used as a what they would call a DEI hire.
Absolutely. And I absolutely. However, I can honestly say I feel grateful, and I feel like I've been fortunate enough to be placed in spaces where people respected me for my art and for me as a person.
Yeah, no, I mean, like,
and that's
booking
real.
you for me was just like, I guarantee these people a show, and he's gonna bring a show.
Right.
So my whole thing was, you know, I'm hiring you to make me not a liar.
Right. And then, but here's the thing, and that's real. But you booked me because of me.
Right, because of you, your show,
yeah,
your ability to produce the show that I promised the audience,
absolutely,
is what I can count on.
But not what you can get out of it.
No.
And that's where the difference is.
Yeah.
That's where that's where it's like that real gray area. And at that point, that's when your discernment kind of comes in. You really have to just understand, like, and really be mindful of who everybody that is around you may not very well be for you.
So have you ever had to turn down an opportunity because of what it meant in the way that you're talking right now?
Turn down? No, I don't think so. I feel like every opportunity which, like I said, it comes back to discernment for me. I feel like every opportunity that I have accepted or have hopped head first into, I was fortunate enough to be able to experience that as something that when they were bringing me into the mix, they genuinely wanted to put my talent and my gifts on the forefront without any type of stipulation. So, I mean, I don't feel like I've had to turn down anything per se. Because so far, it feels like who has been in my circle to... We
normally don't get this, but I have to do this.
No. Said you owe him a feature.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. So here's the gag, though. Here's the... Zakeem, look, here's the thing. Yeah. We've been well overdue to do this. So, yes. Say less. Say less. Say less. Oh, that's coming. That's been in the makings. There's so many people I want to work with, but it's just never enough time. No, but no, real talk. Absolutely, there's always time to do that.
Shout out to 912 Week. Like that was just an amazing thing.
Shout out to Zakeem and shout out to Queu'd a lot, man. Because on some real ass shit, and then that goes to show too, because both of them, which we just spoke about it.
Right.
They invited me to come and perform.
Right.
Like, they didn't have to do that. And then the thing is, I'm openly LGBTQIA plus.
I mean, that's obvious. I see the way you dress.
I mean,
go out,
ain't that? I was like, no, it is.
No, it is, bro. I'm about to say, my brother.
Right? No, that's real though, and I love it though. That's real. It's apparent. I wear it on me like a badge of honor.
Okay, so because you're a soldier, you know what I'm saying. So I remember there was one time I got mad for you. You were out. It was on a live or whatever, and I think you had on all white. And somebody had said something to you, like outside, City Market or whatever, and I guess somebody had said something.
Oh my God, I'll never forget that. I know exactly. I was wearing my bell bottoms, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
So literally, I'll never forget that story. Before I
got mad because like you're a soldier, I'm a soldier, so I feel like that's my battle.
I was targeted. And you know what? I got their asses together. And
yeah, you did.
But
yeah, you did.
Before I segue, shout out to Zakeem. Shout out to Queu'd Trap a lot. Because number one, to go back to the original question.
Yes, sir.
I will say that they didn't have to invite me. They know I am. But that's also too.
But I also think. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Because,
no. You go.
But I know for a fact they respect me for the artist that I am.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason they ask. Because them two right there, 912 week has been quite a week.
Oh boy,
so
look. Boy, high
whole
energy.
Week down. It was cool. I made awesome connections, saw awesome performers.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to them. And it just goes to show when you have down people around you that really truly care about you as an artist and not what they can get out of you.
Right.
Because of what you might represent in an era where things are a little more accepted, where it's like almost like this is the new gay. No, that's not it. But like that. But
I dig it.
So story time. Let's go. I was in City Market. First of all, I'll never forget. I was wearing I had my all white bell bottoms. And I think I had on my all white Osiris.
I think everything you had on was white.
All white. Yep.
Yeah.
And I had like this like chiffon kind of real 70s hippies kind of long sleeve shirt with like a deep neck. Oh, I was on. Here you go. I was so on, the knob broke. I was. But I'll never forget, like, these, man, so dumb ass. You know what? It's so funny. You knew I was on because out of all the people in City Market, you targeted me, though. You wanted me. You wanted your 15 minutes off of me. So they were live talking about some, man, you saw the live just saying shit. So I got on live. I said, oh, well, since we on live, tell them how homophobic you are. Tell them how y'all targeted me. Y'all needed to see 15 minutes of me because you knew you couldn't get viewers without me. You needed me to be seen. That's what the fuck that was. You couldn't do this without me. You need me. I meant that. Because I'm like, you need me. What was it? Oh, baby, don't get me started. What's that? That's my movie. What's that at the very end of What's Love Got to Do? It's they come to see me. They come to see me. And she saw my son. So what you gonna do? I don't care. Do what you want to do. She said, There's your acting moment for the day, folks. But no, real talk. I'm like, that's okay, have it. And I got on their live and said exactly, and it was funny. My boss, somebody sent him the live, and he was like, hey, you just gotta be careful. I said, I don't care. You ain't about to be out here trying me. Like, no. And that's another thing. People will try you if you let them. That's why my daily mantra is, and I sent this, matter of fact, I sent this to both Phil and Regina this morning. I was like, it takes nothing. It costs absolutely nothing to be kind to others. Or you can just get cussed clean out. The choice is yours. Period. And I got all day. Like, we can do this either way. I don't care. Like, it was funny. Like, some people will be like, oh, well, you don't have to. Oh, yes, absolutely. You have to. Because people will try you. Yes.
Yes, you do.
I'll cuss them clean out. You got to. Because people will try you up. But it's okay. You learn, you do. You go about your business and, hey, you go and news let's go.
Yeah.
That's right. Yo, man. Well, you accidentally. Okay, we got our last question.
Okay.
Yo, we got a couple questions, man. I'm gonna give you 2 questions.
Okay, say less.
And then I'm gonna let you pick the one you want to answer.
Oh Lord.
We have been having a long and amazing conversation about the Savannah music scene.
I had fun. Yes.
Yeah. So you're so silly. So we've had we had our highest grossing viewership on that episode based on that. It was a lot of energy. I wanted to know if you had a take on the trappings of the Savannah music scene and some of the perceived crabs in the barrel, Savannah is in Atlanta type of thing. They said it even last night at the bonfire joint. I mean, it wasn't a bonfire, but that's what they billed it as. So it was a dope event. Man, yo, well, CJ, that's my DJ, was out there. Like, it was
No,
just
you
dope.
could. I was just like,
But it was dope. It was a dope performance.
It was
everything was
cool.
dope. Shout out to Clay doing her things and everything. But even they said it on the stage. They were like, everybody don't want to say nothing because Savannah ain't Atlanta. And da-da-da-da. Like it's on the conscience of Savannah, the Savannah art scene, that our cohesiveness, that our cooperation, that our ability to sort of maintain and hold the scene like an Atlanta does, or maybe a Houston does, or something like that. There's a lot of perspective on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one question. So what is your take on Savannah's music scene and its ability to cooperate and organize itself? And my second question,
Okay.
is one that's always is really near and dear to me. Dating as an artist, because dating a non-artist is 9 times out of 10 what we end up doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a unique situation right now where I am dating one, and it's a lot. It's very different. But dating as an artist, in the trappings of that, or the first question. So which one?
I can actually answer both, but I can answer that one real quick because that's real cut and dry for me.
Okay.
So the person I'm with is not an artist. I am. Mm-hmm. It's about y'all have to find y'all's balance, what works for y'all. I know for me, he is more understanding because he knows that this is what I do, this is what I love to do, this is what I want to do. And at the end of the day, this was here before he was. And that's no shade. Mm-hmm. And I know eventually I do want to be in a situation where I share those things with somebody. But at the end of the day, he does understand. I do feel I have been in situations where, which is funny, oh Lord.
You said quick.
Dang, I did say quick. I can't even.
But go ahead.
Okay, it's cool. I'll be real quick. So that said ex I had that took up a lot of time for this interview, I'll never forget. He told me to my face. We sat down in a mediation. He told me to my face, I don't think it's gonna happen for you. He literally said, I don't think the world is ready for for a gay artist. I said, and I didn't believe that, but look at here we are. Yeah, he told me that. I don't mind saying it because that's what he said to me. He said it to my face. I mean, it is what it is. No love lost, but hey, look where I am now. Facts. No shade. So, the
fact that I'm somewhere makes me feel like that's selfish. It was me. But go ahead, please go.
Hey, it is what it is. It's okay. But so that's a good question, but almost like a gray area for me.
We got 2% left on that.
Oh, we got
right, bet. So I feel that two things can happen. At the end of the day, it's about the intention behind it. If you want to see something happen, I feel like there's a lot of talking, a lot of things being said. But at the same time, now, mind you, I can only say so much because I'm not from Seaport. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Same.
Granted, I've been long enough to see the growth and see. But you want to see something done, do it. You want to see a festival, throw it. Granted, okay, and then but what about money? Raise it. Find ways to
collaborate. Yes, that's
collaborate. Do things to get that. But at the same time, it's also these people have to be willing to do that.
But you also can't complain about not seeing something if you're not looking.
If you're not in the mix trying to get it done.
Right.
And I feel like also too, it comes down. I'm not gonna call names. And I'm not going to say anything specific, but I will say I have seen, not from that conversation specifically, but there have been times where I've heard people complain about, the art, the music scene in Savannah, but you don't come out to events. You don't even support when people do things. So why complain why complain? What are you doing?
For sure.
And that's no shade to anybody in specifically, but that's the real. You cannot, if you're going to complain about it, don't even worry. Because, I mean, unless you're putting unless you got, shout out to Zay Hutchins, because Sunday Supper put a lot of people on. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he's a painter, he's a tattoo artist, he's a graphic designer, he does a lot of things. He didn't have to do that. But he threw a dog in the fight to try to get visibility for Savannah. And then, because things like that take money, eventually it tapered off because, people, at the end of the day, you may end up having to have some type of sponsorship or some type of money coming into where this thing can keep going, but it wasn't happening. But then, when is Sunday Supper coming back? Y'all got Sunday Supper money?
For sure.
And that's and that's really what it came down to. And luckily, I'm glad that, he said so himself. He made the post. He said Sunday Supper coming back in 2025. So I'm prayerful. I hope it does. I want it to because that was an amazing platform. However, it's the intention, it's the act. You want to see it done, do it. Don't complain about it.
Yo, dope stuff. So, man, how you feel?
I feel great.
Man,
I feel
it's
amazing.
Been a dope opportunity to have this conversation with me. If we had more energy on these devices that we're using, man, we would definitely keep this conversation going, man. But it has been amazing.
You got to let me plug my stuff first.
Go ahead, hurry up.
Okay,
get it in.
Retro Love Volume 1 Vent Sessions. The album is due out in October. First single, La La La. All I Hear is out now. Second single dropping in a couple of weeks. You can find me on IG. It's Marleaux Jones, Marleaux Jones Music. Yes. Hit your boy up.
Thank you so much, man. It has been an amazing opportunity to have you in our humble little studio, man. It has been Marleaux Jones. This has been Queu'd Up, the interview series with one of the dopest performers, R&B artist, star, soul, all the things, yo. It's been dope. I have been John English.
All the motherfucking
Shouts out to Kel Denise in the engineering booth. We are about to be out of here like last year. Peace.